Good afternoon, everyone. It took me some time to really wanting to put in a video together to really talk about this subject, Juneteenth. Now, for a lot of you, like myself, who really wasn't aware of Juneteenth, and I came privy to the knowledge of Juneteenth probably like only 5 years ago. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and believe it or not, I don't know if I was living under a rock or something like that, but I don't recall celebrating Juneteenth ever. This is totally new for me within the past 5 years, as I stated before. So a lot of you who may not be familiar with Juneteenth, when I mean familiar, I mean like actually familiar and not vaguely familiar of Joe Biden signing Juneteenth as a federal holiday last year. Because we understand that Juneteenth is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating emancipation of enslaved Black Americans. It is also often observed for celebrating Black American culture. Now, the reason for this holiday is when a general, I believe his name was General Gordon, came into the town of Galveston, Texas, and let the slaves know that 2 months ago that slavery ended, and ever since then, I guess essentially it's been some sort of holiday. Now, Texas didn't recognize this day as a holiday until the 1980s. So that's something to look at as well. And America didn't recognize this holiday or made it a holiday up until last year. But this is a nothing burger. This is symbolism at its best. What does Juneteenth actually do for Black Americans? Juneteenth does nothing for Black Americans. We have already celebrated our freedom. We don't need an actual day to celebrate our freedom. This is a nothing burger. This is just one more symbolism for them not to give reparations. They give reparations for every other group. Are you guys aware that they just signed into law, they just recognized, and anytime they do things like this, they're going to sign into law reparations for Jewish people of the Holocaust. Now, Obama and Joe Biden did this when they were in office together. They gave Holocaust survivor $12 million. I know a lot of you saying, America gives countries billions of dollars, $12 million is nothing. And that's why Joe Biden is once again giving Holocaust survivors more money. And see, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, he's just not Black Americans president. He's everyone president. But time and time again, and a lot of you guys have been waking up, thank God. Time and time again, what you notice is specific groups get whatever they ask for. But anytime we ask for the one thing that is owed to us, we get symbolism. We get a slap in the face. We get nothing burgers. Okay? So Juneteenth is a nothing burger. It's absolute symbolism. And why not turn it into a racist holiday? They're already using Pan-African colors. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? People throughout the total Pan-African world was not enslaved in America. They were enslaved in the Caribbean. They were colonized in Africa, so on and so forth. No, Juneteenth is a Black American holiday, not a Pan-African holiday. So they have been co-opting this thing. They have been mixed and mastering this thing. So who knows what this is anymore? Now I want to point to a news article that I think you need to pay attention to. And CNN, hopefully you guys are still not watching and listening to them all damn day. Okay? I hope not. I have a couple of choice words for CNN, but hopefully you're not listening to them. People were very offended, tone deaf. Corporations facing backlash for Juneteenth themed products. Absolutely. First and foremost, with this damn Juneteenth ice cream, first and foremost, they have the Pan-African colors on them. And they're just peddling products to Black Americans. But this is nothing new. They've been doing this for hundreds of years. Okay? They take our pain and sufferings and turn into dollar signs. We were once the dollar signs, and now they use things to pander to us so we can go ahead and buy it. And I'm pretty sure there's some Tyrones and Keisha in the hood that went out and bought some Juneteenth ice cream. Man, this ain't bad ice cream, really. That's what occurred. Now, it states here that Children's Museum in her community, they're talking about Charlisa Starks, they were selling a watermelon salad in celebration of Juneteenth. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the racial tropes behind watermelon, then you should be very, very familiar with it. And I'm just going to point out some figurines, some caricature here, so you guys understand that for hundreds of years, there was a videotape, I believe it was by Edison or if it was by Einstein, I do not recall one of the two gentlemen, of two black men eating a watermelon, and they was just goofing off. They was just having a good time. I don't have that video clip, but it's a famous video clip, and they're like, oh, black people must really love watermelon. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody loves watermelon, okay? Everybody loves fried chicken. These stereotypical things, they continue to do, these racial epithets, they like racial slurs year after year, decade after decade. When are we going to get tired and we're going to be on one accord? See, the way how you hurt white supremacy, in a sense, is you hurt their pockets. And we got all these black Sambos and coons out here trying to figure out, oh, is reparations, is it education? Is reparation wiping away my school debt? Is reparations an apology? No, the first step to reparation is cutting a check, because that is what America has done for every other group. Anytime someone, whether they look like you or not, try to refute and revoke and evoke reparations, they say, what about the Native Americans? And I'm not hating on the Native Americans. I'm not hating on the Jewish community. I'm not hating on anybody. Everybody has gotten theirs, and everybody is still getting theirs. When are we going to come together and say, well, God damn it, I voted for Obamacare, but I got to put my foot down and vote for reparations, because I see everybody getting money. I'm seeing everybody getting protections under the law. So when can we do this, family? You see these racial tropes, these racial images, and they're using even in today in 2022. Can we have unity on one thing? Can we have around 30 of you black Americans to come together and say, yeah, we're gonna essentially continue to put the pressure on reparations? And here's another thing. Shout out goes to my buddy Marcel Dixon. I know he lost down there in the 6th District, South Carolina primary, but that's okay, brother. We still got your back, and we're going to have your back into the next election. Because Jim Crow Clyburn has done nothing for that district in the last 30 years, and they still voted him, and that's simply because of money. I'll just keep it a buck when I say that. It says here, which celebrates the emancipation of enslaved black Americans, instead of serving them foods. To make matters worse, she said, watermelon has historically been used as a racist trope against black Americans, as I just showed you. Goes on to say, everybody is trying to capitalize off of Juneteenth to make money. Duh, this has been happening far too long, family, and we keep falling for it. We keep falling for the trick bag. I'm waiting for the family. I'm waiting for those who are not part of the Tyrone and Keisha. I'm just tired of goddamn Pookie and Ray Ray, because those are both male names. So we know that we have ratchet behavior on both male and female. So my claim to fame is Tyrone and Keisha. So we need to educate Tyrone and Keisha whenever we can, for those who will listen, so they can start beating the drum and saying the same words as we're saying, so the Democrats and the Republican Klansmen and all these other people can understand that, hey, you're not getting a vote until you start putting our interests first. Because we see that if 87% of black Americans voting in President Joe Biden, but he's doing things for the LGBT community, the Asian community, the Jewish community, all these other communities, then why in the hell did you vote for him then? But I can tell you this, family, this was no surprise. He told you exactly what he was not going to give and what he was not going to do. Joe Biden said, I'm so not sorry. I am so not sorry. That's what he said to us. It states here, from the Indianapolis Children's Museum watermelon salad to Walmart swirl red velvet and cheesecake flavored ice cream to Dollar Tree's Pan-African theme plates. Why do Dollar Tree have Pan-African theme plates? This is a black American quote unquote holiday, quote unquote symbolism, quote unquote nothing burger, quote unquote none of us really get anything out of it and maybe a day off. And hopefully it's paid. And some damn napkins. I'm going to keep scanning here, family. I'm not going through this whole thing, but I've highlighted some things I think that we should go over. What people are demanding is not a new ice cream flavor or a new salad or any other symbolic gesture. That really is just about generating profit from a commercialized holiday. What Black folks have demanded are structural and systematic changes to the system in this country that have been harmful and oppressive. Well, I can go a step further with that. The demanding is reparations. Give us what you owe. That's it. That's it. You can take your ice cream, you can take your watermelon salad, and you can shove it up your ass. Because that do nothing for the 53% homeless people, the 53% Black Americans that are homeless on the street. And all of them didn't get there by themselves, okay? They were assisted by this oppressive system. Let's just keep it real. Now, some of them did land there on their own, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of them that was landed by this oppressive system. And we can talk about over policing, under policing certain neighborhoods. We can talk about the jail system. We already know this, family. We don't need to go through the whole list of all the things that this country has done to our people. But you can get Juneteenth. You can get some damn ice cream, can't you? I tell you, holiday that Black Americans have celebrated since June 19th, 1865. Is that right, family? Can I ask you guys that very quickly? Who has been celebrating Juneteenth for the past 10 years? If you would, if you're inside the chat, just give me a 1 in the chat. If you have been celebrating Juneteenth in the last 10 years. If you have been selling Juneteenth in the last 10 years, put a number 1 in the chat. Because I know I just learned about Juneteenth 5 years ago. I'm from Washington, D.C. I guess people down in Texas knew this. I didn't know about Juneteenth. And this, I guess President Joe Biden found out last year because that's when he signed it into law. Why didn't Obama sign it into law? I'm just asking these questions because at the end of the day, is this right? Is this holiday right for us? What does it do for us? And I'm not speaking, if you guys getting a paid, you're getting a paid day off, then so be it, great. Let's keep it into play, get the money, get your time off. But at the end of the day, this does nothing for us. This is symbolism at its best. Let me continue though. Let me continue. It says here that Stephanie Leonard, as an assistant professor of management at Howard University who specialized in workplace diversity, equity, and inclusion, said corporations should not be profiting off the culture of marginalized groups. Marginalized groups. Wait a minute. Who are marginalized groups? See, this is when they use trick language to co-opt other people inside of our struggle. There's no. There's no marginalized groups. No, this is U.S. freedmen. These are foundational Black American. This is descendants of American slaves. This is not Black and brown. This is not Hispanics and Asian. No, it's simply us and no one else. General Gordon went to Galveston, Texas, 2 months after the Civil War ended and told those Black Americans, those U.S. freedmen, that slavery is ended. And ever since 1980, Texas has been celebrating Juneteenth. They didn't say, oh yeah, we know down in the Alamo, marginalized groups, you guys go ahead and celebrating Juneteenth too. Oh, during the Japanese internment camp time frame, yeah, go and co-op you guys in the Juneteenth too. No. We're not doing that. We're not co-opting other groups inside of our struggle. Far too long, we've been saying Black and brown. Have you noticed, family, Black people are the only one who say Black and brown? When have you seen a Hispanic person? When have you seen an Indian person? And I don't mean Native American, I mean Indian from India. They sometimes like to go by brown and sometimes they go by freaking Asians. And the reason why I say that is because did you know that the British colonized India for a while and they used to call them brown buggers, which was a very similar to the N-word today. They used to call them brown buggers, okay? But nonetheless, when have you ever heard any of those groups say brown and Black? Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay. Now they're talking about joining a committee, a black-led committee. No, no, no. We don't need a committee. We don't need one or two people. We just let this thing ride. Let this thing just ride. Now they got a flag, a Juneteenth flag, and it's the Pan-African flag. It says here that it's tough for organizations to put forth an ice cream or watermelon salad without having done their prior work, Leonard said, because it just comes off as performative, as a last-ditch effort. It does not come off as an organization values its black employees or values its black customers. Family, this does nothing for us. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm gonna say it loud and proud: reparations, and in the form of a check, and that's money, tangibles, compensation. We're talking about money first and foremost. It says here, share and celebrate Black American culture. I'm not saying African American culture. I'm gonna say Black American culture, emancipation, and enduring hope. The label on the swirl red velvet and cheesecake flavored ice cream. The ice cream tub was designed with Pan-African colors and black and brown hands. There it is again. Let me get this out your way, family, so you can see what I'm looking at. Black and brown hands. You see how they co-opted Pan-Africanism inside of it? They co-opted brown inside of it. It's not even for Black Americans anymore. We don't know who this holiday for. We know that everybody celebrates it. See, here's the thing. You make a holiday celebrating enslaved Africans' freedom, but it's for everybody. And even inside that, everybody gets, Juneteenth off. Now, with even in the language and the verbiage, you're co-opting every other group inside of it. Yep. You co-opted with the Pan-African movement. You co-opted with Caribbeans and Africans and the immigrants from the UK. Everybody, come on and join in Juneteenth. Yeah. So if anything comes off from this, guess what? You join in the fun as well. But it also states here that one critic accused Walmart of capitalizing off of Black culture. Everybody capitalizes off of Black culture. Every corporation does. So that's a nothing burger. That's an empty statement. Okay, that's word salad. Walmart later apologized for the ice cream and removed it from the shelves. Walmart said, no, we're in poor Black and white communities. We're in poor Hispanic communities. And we know Black people, they buy the most bullshit from us. They buy the most junk from us. So let's just take the laws and pull the ice cream. Because that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We know that Walmart is usually in low-income areas. And out of these low-income areas, who buys the most things for Walmart? Black people. So instead of hurting Black people's feelings and getting them very emotional, because that's the stereotype with very emotional people, right? Let's go ahead and move the ice cream. Let's throw it in a dumpster somewhere, let it melt out, and then we're done with it. Juneteenth holiday marks a celebration of freedom and independence, a Walmart spokesperson said in a statement. However, we received feedback that a few items caused concern for some of our customers and we're sincerely apologize. We are reviewing our assortment and remove items appropriate. You know what I just thought of? If this is about celebration of freedom and independence, why didn't they offer the ice cream for free? Why didn't they offer the ice cream for free? Say, hey, we didn't really ask no Black people about this, but we were just thinking, do you guys want this ice cream for free? You guys want this? We're not even charging you guys. No. I'm talking about before they put a price tag on it to make money off of us. They said, look, we made an ice cream. We don't know if you'll like it, but it's free. They didn't do that. And then they threw away the ice cream and still didn't offer it for free. This is ridiculous, family. That's why I don't shop at Walmart. I'm telling you right now, I pull my teeth if I ever have to go to Walmart. The last time I went to Walmart was probably a year ago. I probably go into Walmart once a year. I try to go everywhere else before I go to Walmart because they target us heavily, okay? They target us heavily. Lauren Tucker, an exclusive leadership consultant, said major corporations are not giving Juneteenth a thought. Research and care it deserves. That's what she's saying. Why should they, family? It's not their holiday. They don't care. They thought this was a meal ticket. They were just trying to make money. And we messed that up for them. So now they're being apologetic. Now they're pulling products off the shelves. They're absolutely mad at this point. Like, we was going to do something for you niggers, and now you mad that we made some ice cream. First of all, you got the colors wrong. Juneteenth is not a Pan-African holiday. It's a Black American holiday. If anything, you should have did red, white, and blue. Why? Because foundational Black Americans are the one who built the country. These are meaningful in terms of articulating both the pain and suffering of Black Americans, but also the celebration of freedom, Tucker said. Tucker said companies should look into bring independent consultants to research Juneteenth and survey the customer base before putting out products. No, it's almost similar to like they're kind of like trumping up HR 40. Like, you know what? Let's bring in some consultants. Let's do a study. Let's research this. Let's look at this in a different way. No, just leave it alone. People are getting off. People are getting paid time off. That's all we got. Like, listen, it's symbolism. We know we're not going to get any tangible from this government unless we all come together. Now, I don't mean 100% of us, but a good mass majority of us start beating the drum of reparations. When I mean reparations, I am talking about in a form of a check, dollar signs. That's the first step, family. If we just say reparations, people gonna say, oh, what type of reparations? What about an apology? What about grants for education? What about a low interest business loan? No. We are talking about cut the damn check. Well, how much should we give every foundational Black American? Because, you know, America, we don't really have that much money right now. Well, some people are saying $100,000. I did the math. I think I did it off a $14 trillion figure. Let's just say that each foundation Black America, anywhere from 50 to 60 million of us, because they've been really decreasing our numbers. We're not at 13.4%, family. We're more like around 15%. So I'm going to say around 50 to 60 million of us cut the check in the amount of ching, $350,000. And some of you say, boy, you have lost your damn mind. No, I didn't. Did Ukraine lose their mind? Because they got billions of dollars. Did you see the foreign budget? Did all those African countries that receive foreign money from America, billions of dollars, did they lose their mind? Did you see the amount of money we send to South America? Did they lose their mind? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I did not lose my mind. This country has a history of racism. It doesn't matter where you get it from, even in the culture. We have books like The Little Pickaninnies. What do you think that book's about? What do you think the book about Little Pickaninnies is about? Let me keep going on. Right? Thomas Edison patented 1,900 inventions, and he invented the kettle stove and the kinetograph, which laid the groundwork for modern motion picture technology. And this is where he showed, where he was recording these two Black men eating watermelon. And then they made that a racial trope throughout history. The Little Rascals. Look at this right here. This is how they depict us, family. This is the image that they used to show us time and time again. What about the 10 Little Pickaninnies? Whose baby is, look at this, family. This is what they show to teach their future. And this is why we have all this damn racism and discrimination in this country. So if you don't know your history, then how the hell are you going to know your future? You have to know who you're fighting. You have to know who you're fighting. Let me show you something, because a lot of times we like to give homage to a lot of inventors. So let me just point out one of the most infamous mathematicians, very, very intelligent people. Say, what are your thoughts surrounding Einstein's opinions about racism in Black Americans? And this is what James Gates say, and this is from Albert Einstein out of his later years. He said, there is, however, a somber point in the social outlook of Americans. Their sense of equality and human dignity is mainly limited to men of white skin. Even among these, there are prejudices of which I, as a Jew, clearly conscious, but they are unimportant in comparison with the attitude of the whites toward their fellow citizens of particularly towards Negroes. The more I feel American, the more this situation pains me. I can escape the feeling of complexity only by speaking out. Many a sincere person will answer me, our attitude towards Negroes is the result of unfavorable experiences. You think? which we have had living side by side with Negroes in this country. So the unfavorable experiences was living side by side with us, but not side by side with you, because we were brought to this country against our will. Okay, I'm just asking questions. They are not our equals in intelligence, sense of responsibility, reliability, and I am firmly convinced that whoever believes this suffers from a fatal misconception. Wow. You can't say it no better than that. You can't say it no better than that. So, family, I really never celebrated Juneteenth. I can care effing less. I can care effing less because it does nothing for our people. We need to start voting in candidates with our interests, like Greg Marcel Dixon down there in the 6th District of Carolina. I know the brother lost, but we still support him. We cannot wait for the election so we can support him again. And we need other candidates like Marcel Dixon to run on a reparations first ticket. Absolutely. All these other groups are getting theirs, and now it's time to get ours. Thank you, Teddy Woodson, Ricky Manor, and Jermaine Anderson. I see you brothers in the chat. Thank you for attending. You guys have a great and wonderful Thursday. And maybe go and cook some ribs on a grill for Juneteenth. Nah, I'm just bullshitting. Have a good one. I'm out.